Welcome to the second part on your DHCP protocol. So, as I said, it will be covering two set of labs, lab number 9 and lab number 10. Both were let's just check out. Yes, lab number 9 and lab number 10, right? So your one section is actually covering जब आप एक सर्वर पे प्रोटोकॉल इनेबल करते हैं तो what are the steps और उस सर्वर के साथ when you connect PCs, so what is the procedure for that, right? So all you need is a server and 4 to 5 PCs, ठीक है, which you will be enabling on DHCP protocol. And as I discussed in the previous lab, DHCP protocols assign an IP address and its dynamic host configuration protocol to it actually assign the IP address by the set of provided you can say a pool of IPs जो उसके पास present होती हैं उनमें से it specifies or assign an IP address to the PC, right? Procedure आपको याद होगा, as I said, you will be अच्छा again when you are connecting different devices the cable you are using is a copper straight through cable, right? जब आप similar devices को connect करते हैं then the connection is with the help of crossover cable. Remember these, या फिर when in software it isn't that much issue, right? लेकिन जब आप जाते हैं towards your actual setups then yes, taking care of the cable is a requirement, right? The communication जो आपकी हो रही है it won't be taking place if your cable is not selected properly. So this is somehow the connection which you will do if you want to enable a server. This is your server on DHCP protocol. So जब आप server को enable करना चाहते हैं so all you need to do is कि आप उसकी services में say you can see there are a set of services, right? Email service है, FTPs, DNS, DHCP version 6, simple DHCP, HTTP, right? So presently I will be going for DHCP version 4, right? IP version 4 के लिए जो है, right? You can see that the service is off. So initially I'm turning on the service and I am assigning an IP address, starting IP address, right? जहाँ से आप अपने IP addresses को start करना चाहते हैं. Let's say, oh sorry, not default gateway. Let's say it's 10.0.0. Let's say 5, for example. So my mask is 255 dot or make it okay, fine. ठीक, maximum number of users it can take more than 512, right? 512 means कि आपके ये 8 bit और ये 8 bit जो हैं वो assign होंगे for your host, right? But you can use it the third set of 8 bits जो आपके हैं total आप 24 bits use कर सकते हैं for your network. But presently let's say I don't want to exceed from 512 and let's make it 1, right? So my starting IP address is this is my mask and the maximum possible number of users are 512. Let's add it. Okay, change the name. Let's say I am changing it to server pool 1 या network या anything, right? So this is somehow the enabling, right? अच्छा, you will be providing a static IP address to this server because when a PC wants to access a server which is providing DHCP based IP addresses, तो उसका अपना एक static IP address होना चाहिए because it shouldn't be changing, it shouldn't be dynamic, right? So let's say I am giving it an IP address of 10.0.0.1, right? If I'm giving 1 here, इसका मतलब है कि 1 is already assigned, इससे आगे आपके start होंगे for your ये जो आपके PCs के IP addresses है, right? Okay, IP version 6 जो है I'm not going towards that version right now, right? So services में okay, that's fine, right? So let's move toward your PCs and all you would be doing is that you will be requesting from your server for your IP address, right? So 10.0.0.1 was the IP address of the server, so it start giving IP addresses after that for to avoid collision, right? अगर अपना ही IP address वो किसी और system को दे देगा तो there can be an error जिसमें आपका जो system है another set of system or another host जो connect करना चाहता है it will be मर्ज अप या मिक्सअप हो जाएगा कोई भी इश्यूज जनरेट हो सकते हैं व्हेन टू IP addresses on a single network are same, right? So you know ये आपकी first request has been successful. Similarly, this is all you have to do, right? You are requesting an IP from this server and it's providing it unless and until इसकी सारी IPs occupy हो जाती हैं till then ये आपको IP addresses provide करता रहेगा. DHCP request is successful and this is your IP address, right? Similarly, for your last PC, and again it's dot 5, right? So let's communicate with any other PC of 10.0.0. Let's say 3, right? And I'm receiving a reply, so it means there's no wire error, there's no server or connection error, right? Everything is stable, my DHCP is working and this is how it's working, right? So let's move toward the next step, which is kind of the same procedure जिसमें आपने एक router पे enable करने हैं your all set of instructions, right? Again I am taking a switch. Now this router itself, there's no server, the router itself would be acting as a DHCP host, means ये आप IP addresses provide करेगा for the rest of the systems, right? So let's connect all the systems and then हम जाएंगे towards the commands जो हमने cover की थी in the theory section, right? So go to your CLI mode, right? Enable if you remember from your labs I said to you कि आपको initially if you don't want to start from a specific IP address you can write this command IP, or if you want to use it you can use it, but let's avoid it and let's just move toward the assignment procedure, right? IP DHCP and then pool, right? You are enabling a set of IP addresses pool with a name, let's say it's network 10, right? Now इसके बाद आपने क्या करना था, आपने IP addresses define करने थे for this specific network, right? So then you write network, let's say it's starting IP address is 168.0.0 with a mask of 255.255.255.0, right? By default it's a class C addressing, but you know uh, itself जो आपका सॉफ्टवेयर है cisco packet tracer ये pick up करता है in class C, but you can vary it anyhow, right? So that's your the you can say जो आपकी total list है या define जो आप कर रहे हैं मास्क के थ्रू कि आप systems इतने attach कर सकते हैं. DHCP pool you are providing by the name of network 10. previously क्या था, that was pool something service pool or something which I named one service pool, right? One, right? यहाँ पे वो नेम मैंने चेंज करके नेटवर्क 12 की है. एंड एक और चीज़ डिफ़ॉल्ट राउटर जो आपका itself उसका जो IP एड्रेस होगा what is that going to be? So let's say it's right, this is the IP address of your router, and if you want to write the DNS server command you can write it, or else we will cover it in DNS specific topic, right? domain name server जो अलग से आपका टॉपिक होगा. So these are very few commands, right? और इस पे आपकी एक complete lab है. So all you did, yes, अगर आप ऐड करना चाहते हैं, so you can go for right. मैंने आपको एक और कमांड इसमें बताई थी, which was your router rip command, right? Which I told you कि if you want to use it आप use कर सकते हैं, और other kind is also fine, right? उससे ये होता है कि okay, there's something left in this procedure क्योंकि इसने IP address को pick नहीं किया. Yes, initially because I haven't turned on my link, तो ये आपके you can go into the initial steps 192.168.1 dot what was my default address. Dot 0 dot 1, right? So 192.168.0 dot 1, and there's a mask, right? So I'm providing this IP address to the link, and yes, इसके बाद आपके steps would be initially, yes, definitely आपको when you are using a router you should turn on the link, which I forgot. So आप इसको cover कर सकते हैं. So let's just again let me check if it's enabled DHCP. If it's not, then I should be rerunning the commands. Let's check it. Okay, it's enabled, right? तो जो command initially set की थी, according to that itself इस fast ethernet port का address जो है वो है 192.168.0.1. So it का accordingly आपके जो बाकी pieces हैं उससे onwards जाएंगे, क्योंकि your pool was for this specific address up to this side up can take maximum of 255, right? Similarly, you can enable a DHCP on this system. And finally the last one. So this is all two sets of DHCP version, right? एक step कर लेते हैं of connecting or communicating with the other system. Let's say it's a PC4, so I would be going for 3, let's say, right? Reply have been received, इसका मतलब आपका network is active with IP address assigned by DHCP protocol or the specific instructed messaging version of DHCP, right? So this is all for your lab number 10, lab number 9, which was enabling DHCP with the server, and lab number 10, which was enabling DHCP on a router, right? So this is all for today, and your both set of labs. So Allah Hafiz.